Most satellite communicators promise to save your life. A surprising number of them can't even reliably send a text. Here's what actually separates the 5 worth buying. Pick the wrong one and you're looking at dead zones, delayed SOS signals, and a subscription plan that quietly drains you dry. I judge these 5 on message reliability, two-way capability, battery life, and real subscription cost, not box art. Out of dozens on Amazon, only these 5 are worth your money. One of them will genuinely surprise you, and it is not the most expensive. 350 hours of battery life. That is the headline Garmin is selling on the Mini 3 Plus at $449.99. Sounds like the obvious choice, right? Here's the problem. We have 81 reviews total, and no published failure data to stress test that claim against reality. Impressive spec on paper, unverified in the wild. If you were an ultralight backpacker counting every gram, the compact form factor is genuinely appealing. But at $250 more than our top pick, it needs to be bulletproof. It is not proven enough yet to justify that gap. At $369.99, the InReach Messenger Plus leads with photo messaging and voice capability. Sounds premium, but here is the problem. When you are activating an SOS, you are not sending selfies. With only 57 reviews and no reliability data we could pin down, the real-world track record simply is not there yet. IPX7 water resistance is solid, but every serious competitor on this list has that covered too. You are paying a significant premium for features that are genuinely nice to have and essentially irrelevant in an emergency. If you specifically need voice messaging without cell service, this is your only option here. Otherwise, that gap in proven performance data is hard to ignore at this price. At $199.95, the SpotX runs on the Globalstar network and promises two-way messaging anywhere you wander. 4.5 stars across 737 reviews sounds solid, but here's the catch nobody puts in the headline. Globalstar's coverage has real gaps, particularly outside North America. If your adventures stay domestic, you're probably fine. Go further, and you're gambling. Many owners also report noticeable lag in message delivery compared to Iridium-based devices. In a true emergency, lag is not a minor inconvenience. It's a liability. The SpotX is best for budget-conscious hikers who stick to North American trails and want two-way messaging without paying Garmin prices. But the subscription costs stack up fast, and you're not getting global reliability in return. Save the SpotX for casual domestic use. For anything more serious, keep watching. At $199.99, the Garmin InReach Messenger carries a name that actually means something in satellite communication. 4.5 stars across 430 reviews. That's not noise. That's a pattern, and the global two-way messaging works. Owners consistently report reliable message delivery where nothing else reaches. That's the core promise, and it holds up. Where it gets interesting is smartphone integration. This device is built around pairing with your phone via the Garmin Messenger app, which means a smoother typing experience than punching letters on a tiny screen in the cold. Practical difference in a real emergency. The honest limitation: without solid research data on battery benchmarks or subscription tier breakdowns, I can't tell you it dominates on those axes. What I can tell you is that for a hiker or traveler who wants proven Garmin reliability without jumping to a higher price tier, this is the logical entry point. Not the ceiling, but a very credible floor. The next one, though, is where the feature set gets genuinely hard to ignore. At $119, the Zolio makes a bold bet. You already have a smartphone, so why duplicate it? Two-way global SMS, email, emergency SOS, GPS location sharing, all routed through an app on your Android or iOS device. That architecture is either genius or a liability, depending on how you use it. For most people, it's genius. You get a real keyboard, a real screen, and a familiar interface. The satellite hardware stays small, the experience stays sane. What you need to know, though, this is a renewed unit. Previous use, possible cosmetic wear? Verify it works the moment it arrives. and confirm the subscription cost fits your budget before you commit. At $119 versus everything else in this lineup, the price-to-capability ratio is hard to argue with. Two-way messaging and SOS for less than half the competition. If your phone is always with you anyway, this is the honest entry point to global satellite coverage. So here's the real question. Do you actually need a dedicated hardware screen? Or does your phone already do that better than anything Garmin ships? Zolio bets on the latter. You get the same global two-way messaging and SOS backbone, but you operate it through an interface you already know. No learning curve, no tiny dedicated display. The dedicated units charge a hardware premium that, frankly, you are paying for a screen your phone already has. Bottom line, the Zolio ends the false choice between affordable and reliable. Real two-way global messaging, real SOS coverage, real price. Links are below. Check current prices. Pick the one that matches your risk tolerance. One of these might save your life. Links are in the description. Check current prices. Subscribe if you want reviews that skip the hype.